Okay, first thing you're going to do is get your binding, and you're going to lay it out on your quilt to make sure that none of the seams on the binding, none of this, falls at the corners. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start with the piece about, I like to use 10 inches or a foot. The bigger you can make it, the better, because it'll make it easier to attach them at the end. So just get that laid out on your quilt. I'm going to do that now on this one. Okay, while I'm at it, this is how to do a corner. Now, I have to do this one-handed because I have to hold the phone because I can't find my tripod. Okay, so you're going to come down here at the intersection, and you're going to fold back so that this line right here is parallel with the edge of the quilt. Boom, we got a thunderstorm coming in here too. Okay, then you're going to take this end and fold it back over top like that and continue on. Okay, so when you're sewing, you're going to come down, you're going to sew, but you're going to stop a 1/4 inch away from the end, and then just backtrack a little bit to tack down the stitches, and then cut your thread, then do your fold over, and then continue on sewing 1/4 inch down this way. Okay. Okay, so here's going to be my start and end. Here's my start right here. I'm going to start here. See how I got this big old tail? And then I'm going to end up here, and I've got another very long tail. So that's going to make it easier to attach these two pieces together at the end. Okay, so now I'm going to go sew it on. And I'm just going to start here, and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch. I'm going to go down, do my corners, do a 1/4 inch all the way around, and I think you can do that. Okay? Be right back. Okay, so I've sewn my binding on, and I've got these two ends here. Now, the way to get these put together, see, I've got a, okay, that's probably not a big space, but that's what I'm going to work with. Okay, so I'm going to trim this one to roughly about the middle. So right here. Okay, that's good. You know what? And I'll use that as my spacer. Okay, so I open this up right here, and I set it right along the edge of this. So this is the width of the binding that I cut, 2.5 inches, and that's what I need to overlap this end by. So I just come over here and line it up. Okay, let's see if I can cut this one-handed. All right, so, and I cut it right where that meets, like that. Okay. All right. Now, here's the hard part. Okay, so you take this end and you lay it out flat like this. Okay, see how I did that? Comes along here and I lay it out flat. This piece right here, you open it up and you twist it towards you once, and then you're going to attach it like this. Okay? So just like you're putting together segments of binding, you're going to do the same thing here. Okay, now I've got to hold this somehow in video, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. Alright, hopefully you can see. Alright, I'm going to clip, and I'm going to clip, and I'm going to clip. Alright, now when I take this and I put it together, boom, it goes right together. Hopefully you saw that. I'm going to try to set this thing up again. Stand by. Okay, this is going to be the best I can do because I'm just leaning it up against, barely touching my machine. Okay. So I'm going to do that again so you can see. All right. Get my big paws out of the way. All right. We have our two ends. We're going to take this one on the left and we're going to open it up and lay it flat, just like that. Okay? And we come on with this one and we open it up with the pretty side facing you, and then you're going to twist it once, and then you're going to put it up. See, my big paw's in the way. Here. Okay, you're going to put it up like you're putting together a binding strips. Okay? All right, and I'm going to clip there, and clip here, because I want to test and make sure that it's going to work. So I come over here on this side and I pull it so that it's going to be in position, and that is it. That's going to work right there. Okay, so now I need to come in and I need to sew a diagonal line right across here, just like you do on putting together your binding strips. I'll move this out of the way so I can get my presser foot in there, and I'm going to sew that. I'll be right back. Okay, and I also want to say this is why you need to have a lot of space, so you can fold this up and get it out of the way so that you can get it underneath your presser foot in order to stitch it. That's why the longer these are, the more space you have, the easier it's going to be. Okay, I got it sewed, right? Got it sewed up. Take off the clips. Okay, now before I cut that seam, I just want to make sure it's in the right orientation, and it is. All right, so now I'm going to cut this. All right. I'm holding this under my chin. I have no idea what you're going to be able to see. Okay. And then I'm going to finger press this open. Okay. Fold it over. Give it a little bit of a press. And there. That is going to be the perfect fit to finish off that binding. So let me do that and then we'll get to the other side. All right, next we are going to press the binding out like this. We want that nice and flat. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. All right, here we are back with the binding all ironed out. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change out. I currently have the stitch in the ditch foot on here, and I want to change this out. Oh, sorry, I've got the walking foot on, and I want to change it to the stitch in the ditch. Okay, and where is my stitch in the ditch? Stitch in the ditch. There it is. Okay. All right. So this is my stitch in the ditch foot. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll put it against the white here. It's got that little guide right there that you put in the seam, and with your needle in the very center part, that will stitch in the ditch. Okay, so I'm going to change these out and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got my stitch in the ditch foot on and I'm ready to go. So now we need to roll this binding over, and you want it all the way over so that the what's in the seam here fills up the binding. So you're gonna roll it over. Okay, I'm doing this one-handed. It's not easy. Okay, and then what you're going to do is put that guide on that foot into the seam. Okay. Can't do this one-handed. All right. Boom. Okay, now, as long as you keep this rolled, keep it rolled as you go, and make sure it's tight. Don't let it be loose. Like, see, that right there is kind of loose. The filling is only going out to here, so you got this loose part. That's not enough. It needs to go all the way and be rolled over and fill completely. Ah, shoot. I'm going to have to redo this video. Okay, so if it's not filled completely, here we go. All right, see, that's too much. Here's where the end of the fill is, right here at my fingernail, and all this is excess. This needs to be completely rolled under. Okay, there. Now that's good right there. That's nice and full. And then you're just going to stitch, and you're going to follow that seam all the way around, and then it'll catch. See how much is there on the back? It'll catch that, and then that's it. There's nothing more to it than that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this stitched, and I'll show you the results. Okay, so here's what I've sewed right here. You can barely see the stitches in the ditch right there. And then on the back side, that's what it looks like on the back side. Okay, so I hope that helps. I'll redo this video. I'll find that tripod. I'll redo the video and make this a little easier to view, because I know it's going to be a mess. All right, later, Gator.